What's up, guys? Blizzard Productions here, back with another video, and today is week 7 of the NFL. Before we get started, I wanted to say something real quick. I completely forgot to make the video of the predictions last week, so I am really sorry about that. It's the first time I have ever done that, and by the time I ended up realizing that I forgot to do it, it was already halfway through the afternoon game, so I felt like there's no point in doing the Sunday and Monday night football games. So with that being said, sorry about that, but now I should be back on track and posting every single week for the predictions. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Starting off, we had the Falcons at the Buccaneers, and I think that the Buccaneers are going to come away with the win. Now, I think that's going to be a pretty close game. I think both teams are pretty evenly matched, but I think that Baker Mayfield isn't that bad of a QB. I mean, he's a little bit above average. I still think that he can do better than what he has shown, but he hasn't even done that bad this season, and I think between that and also the home field advantage that the Buccaneers are going to have, I think they are going to win by about a touchdown or two. Moving on, we have the Raiders at the Bears, the battle of the backup QBs, and I have the Raiders coming away with the win. Now, like I just said, it's the battle of the backup QBs. Both teams' starting QBs are out with the injuries, so this is the time for their backup QBs to shine and show that they should be the starting QB for their franchise. So we'll see how this game goes. I just think that the Raiders are going to win because, first of all, I think that they are a little bit of the better team, but also they're playing at the Bears Stadium, Soldier Field, and the Bears have not won a home game in over a year, which is a crazy stat. But we'll see how this game goes. I think this will be a pretty close game, but I think that the Raiders are going to eke out a win. Moving on, we have the Browns at the Colts, and I think that the Browns are going to come away with the win. I think the Browns are the better team. They're coming off a very good win against the Niners and a very surprising win. The Niners played awful last week, but the Browns played very well. Their defense did an incredible job. They are still doing very well. I think they're number 1 in the league right now. And as for the Colts are doing okay. They have their backup QB in Gardner Minshew. He's not that bad. I feel like he's one of the better backup QBs in the league right now. So we'll see how this game goes, but I think that the Browns are going to come away with the win. Moving on, we had the Commanders at the Giants, and I think that the Commanders are going to come away with the win. But to be honest, this game is just going to be, it's really going to be a bad game in my opinion. I think it's going to be super low scoring. Both teams are not that good this season. The Giants are last when it comes to scoring in offense, and defense-wise, their defense is okay, but it's still not that good. And as for the Commanders, they're mid and everything. They're an average team. So to be honest, this game is going to be probably pretty close until about the fourth quarter, and then I had the Commanders scoring a couple more touchdowns than the Giants. Moving on, we have the Lions at the Ravens. This will be a really good game, but I have the Lions coming away with the win. Like I said, this is going to be a very good game, very close matchup. Both teams are doing very well this season, but I think that the Lions are going to come away with the win because I feel like they have more momentum right now. Their team just, I feel like it is more together. And as for the Ravens, their team is also pretty weak together, but they've had some tough losses this season. But I mean, I think that they will still have a very good game. It's being played in Baltimore, so that's the thing that the Lions are going to need to deal with, is not having that home field advantage. But I mean, the Ravens, I think, are going to put up a very good fight. It's going to come down to the very last play, but I have the Lions coming away with the win. Moving on, we have the Bills at the Patriots, and I think that the Bills are going to come away with the win. And not only will they come away with the win, but I think that they'll win by about 3 or 4 touchdowns. They do have to play at Gillette Stadium, which is where the Patriots play, but that doesn't mean anything to them. The Patriots are 1-5, and the Bills are 4-2. The Bills have been doing decent this year. I mean, they haven't looked like themselves really lately, but I mean, I think that they are better than the Patriots. The Patriots really have not looked like themselves these past 2 seasons. So I'm expecting a pretty much big blowout for the Bills. Moving on, we had the Cardinals at the Seahawks, and I have the Seahawks coming away with the win. I believe that the Seahawks are the better team, and also they're going to have that huge home field advantage that they always have when they play at home. It's a super loud stadium, so they have that going for them, and also I just feel like they're a more put-together team. Pete Carroll is not that bad of a coach, obviously. He's been a coach for a while, and as for the Cardinals, they have a first-year coach coaching for them right now. So this is more of a rebuild season for the Cardinals, so I'm not expecting much from them, and I'm expecting quite a bit from the Seahawks. I'm expecting the Seahawks to win by about 2 or 3 touchdowns. Moving on, we had the Steelers at the Rams. This should be a pretty close matchup, but I had the Rams coming away with the win. I think that the Rams are the better team, but like I said, this is going to be a close matchup. I feel like both teams are really evenly matched. The Steelers sometimes will have some really good games, and sometimes will have some really bad games. And as for the Rams, it's kind of the same for them. So it's just about what type of team shows up in this game. Is it going to be the good side of their team or the bad side? So with that being said, I think that the good side of the Rams is going to come, and I had the Rams coming away with the win. Moving on, we had the Chargers at the Chiefs, and I think that the Chiefs are going to come away with the win. First of all, they're going to have the home field advantage, and second of all, I just think that they're the better team. I mean, they have not looked as good this season, but I mean, they're still 5-1. So, I mean, when I say they haven't looked that good, I'm saying just offense-wise, it just doesn't look as easy for them to go down and drive down the field and score. But I mean, they're still doing really good this season. And as for the Chargers, they're still an average team. I feel like they need a new coach because I feel like their coaching is not that good. So with that being said, I have the Chiefs coming away with the win. Moving on, we have the Packers at the Broncos. This should be a pretty close game, but I had the Packers coming away with the win. I think that the Packers are the better team, and I think that both teams are at a low right now. I just feel like the Packers are the team that are going to be more put together. I feel like they are at a little bit of a higher spot than the Broncos right now. The Broncos are at a big low right now, but I don't really know what to expect in this game. It depends on how Russell Wilson does and Courtland Sutton. So we'll see how that connection goes, but I'm expecting the Packers to win. Moving on, we had the Sunday night football game, the Dolphins at the Eagles, and I had the Eagles coming away with the win. But this is going to be a very, very close matchup. I'm really excited to see this game. It's a game that I saw on the schedule already, and I was really excited to talk about it. I think that it's going to be a super good matchup. Both teams are 5-1. Both teams are doing very good. The Dolphins are doing super good. The Eagles are doing super good. And so I'm really excited to see the outcome of this game. The only reason why I think that the Eagles will win is because they're going to have the huge home field advantage because it's being played in Philadelphia. But besides that, it's going to be a back and forth game the entire game, and I'm just expecting one big play by the Eagles at the end of this game to be the deciding factor. I have the Eagles coming away with the win. And last but not least, we had the Monday night football game, the Niners at the Vikings, and I had the 49ers coming away with the win. This is my favorite team, and so I'm really hoping that they're going to come away with the win, and I think that they will. They have a lot to prove right now after they had a terrible game in Cleveland and got their first loss of the season. So I'm curious to see how they bounce back. I think they will be able to bounce back. I mean, they missed a field goal. Well, they missed 2 field goals. One was really big, and it was at the very end of the game. So, like, that's what caused them to lose. But, I mean, I think that this game will end up being a big game for Brock Purdy. I think it'll be a big game for Christian McCaffrey. We'll see about that because his oblique injury. But I think that he is still expected to end up playing tomorrow. And so I'm really excited to see how the Niners bounce back. And now, as for the Vikings are actually not that bad of a team. I mean, the record doesn't show it, but they've stayed in a lot of games. I mean, they lost to the Chiefs by only a touchdown. So, I mean, that still is a loss for them. But, I mean, they stay in games pretty well. They lose by just like 1 or 2 touchdowns. So that's a pretty good team. So I'm curious to see how this is. It's also not a home game for the Niners. So we'll see. The Vikings might have a big home field advantage, but I know Niners fans are good at traveling. So with that being said, though, I had the Niners coming away with the win. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please remember to like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I enjoyed making it. And put down in the comment section if you agree or disagree with any of my picks and why. I feel like I have some pretty good picks, and then I feel like I have some that may be good or may be bad. So we'll see how that goes, and I'm really excited to see tonight's game between the Eagles and Dolphins. It should be a very good matchup like I was saying. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.